All right, what's up, Hidi? I'm going to try to go over a biofeedback test for you. Now, what this test is going to do, it's a super simple test. It's just a range of motion test. And basically, what it's going to do, or how we're going to use it, is when we exercise or when we lift, we're creating stress and we're creating tension throughout our body, which is not a bad thing. We need that stress and we need that tension to build muscle, build strength through tendons and joints and all that good stuff. When that tension becomes bad is when we can't recover from it. And we're only as strong as what we can recover from. So we could be potentially reaching past what you are able to recover from, and that is causing discomfort or causing damage to the shoulder. So the way this test works, the way I want you to use it at least, is when you go into the gym, I want you to do your warm-up. Whatever you do for your warm-up. After your warm-up, we're going to do our test. And you can either set up a box or you can set up plates. And all we're going to do, I'm going to use the box here to start, is after your warm-up, you're going to stand up. You're going to tuck your chin. You're going to relax your legs so there's a slight bend in your knee. And from there, you're just going to hang. You're not going to reach. You're just going to hang and see where you get. Wherever you get is going to be your baseline range of motion. So you see all this chalk here. That's typically where my baseline range of motion is. Or if I'm using plates, I know my baseline range of motion is about to the floor. So I'm just about at my baseline range of motion at the moment, just with moving around a little bit today. So that's our baseline. Now, how we're going to use this to assess if we are causing damage to your shoulder or not is we'll use our bench press, for example, since that's one thing we've been paying attention to. Let's say we have 135 on the barbell. So we set ourselves up, we're going to do a set of 10 at 135. I'm just going to knock out a few reps here really quick. There's my 10 reps. After my 10 reps at 135, I'm going to go ahead and come back to my box and I'm going to measure my tension. Now, same thing, tuck the chin, soft knees, and I'm just going to hang. Now when I hang, if I come up shorter, I'm not there. If I come to here, I know I'm at the floor, right? If I hang and I come up short, I'm not at my baseline range of motion anymore. I caused stress, I created more tension throughout my body with that exercise. And it's not necessarily a bad thing, because if we can recover from that tension, we're good to go. Let's say you take your 1 to 2 minute rest and you move around a little bit during that rest and you come back to your test and you're at your baseline range of motion again. You're good to go. However, if after that 1 to 2 minute rest, you don't come back to your baseline range of motion, even more time goes by, you're still not back at baseline range of motion, that means we caused stress that we cannot recover from. It was only 135. It doesn't feel physically heavy, but for our body, it was challenging enough to cause that much stress that we're not able to recover from it. So if we just go by how it feels and not by the test, 135 was easy. I'm going to go ahead and jump up to 185 and do 10 reps, but we didn't recover from 135. We're reaching past what we can recover from, and we're causing further damage, or we're causing further stress. And if we continue to reach over and over and over again from what we're physically able to recover from, that's when things start to add up. That's when we start causing more damage. We don't want to do that. We want to be able to recover from what we do. So basically, this test means we may end up taking a step back. If we've been doing up to like 185, 205 on bench press, and it doesn't feel physically heavy, but for the shoulder and for tension throughout our body, it's causing damage that we cannot recover from. That's where we might need to take a step back. And this can be used for any exercise. We can use this for our deadlifts. We can use this for any like dumbbell flies. I know those gave you some issues before. But basically, if we use this test, it can kind of help us have more of an insight into what specific movements might be bothering you and what specific movements might be good for you. To go along with shortening our range of motion, we can also lengthen our range of motion. Let's say that we do, what have we been doing? Let's say we do our close grip bench press. So our regular pause bench presses that we've been doing, let's say those shortened you. They caused tension. But then you go and you do your close grip bench press, and when you go back to measure, let's go on this one. When you go back to measure, you've actually gained range of motion. You've lengthened. So if that happens, that means our baseline is now longer. Your longest position will always be your baseline, if that makes sense. I think that's everything I have to say right now. If you have questions, because I know this probably seems a little bit confusing, please don't hesitate to message me through Fitbot or text me, or if we need to set up a FaceTime call if this is still a little confusing, don't hesitate to let me know and we'll take care of you. So again, just one more run through is how we're going to use this. You'll come into the gym, you're going to warm up. After your warm up, you measure your flexibility. That's your baseline range of motion. As you go through your workout, after each set, you go and you measure your range of motion. If you shorten, that means we cause tension. We don't want to go heavier than what we cause tension at. So if that means 135 bench presses cause tension, we need to stay at 135. And the next week we would slowly build up in intensity and volume until we level out with what feels physically challenging to you and what is physically stressful. Even though the weight might not feel heavy, it's causing enough stress to create more tension in your body than what we are able to recover from. All right, man, I hope that makes sense. Like I said, if not, please reach out and we'll get this shoulder thing taken care of, man.